Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's Heather Burkart with Her Wellbeing Ayurveda Yoga. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I'll lead you through a gentle practice that honors a new moon in Aries. So, what does that mean exactly? The new moon time is a time when you might feel energy stores are low. This is the beginning of the lunar cycle and it's associated with menstruation. You may be menstruating at this time, you may not be. However, if you are, it is an ideal time because stores are already low, and it's a good time to take some time for yourself, especially with a gentle, nourishing yoga practice. Aries is a fire sign. It is associated with the solar plexus located here, solar plexus chakra, located in the belly space a little bit above. So you can think of it as your core, where we have the seat of power, of control, also self-esteem and confidence. But it's also an energy center of great spirit and enthusiasm and positivity. So, putting these things together, today's theme is about nourishing your core, your internal fire. This is a sun, this is a fire sign. And gently doing that with a nourishing practice so that you can meet your mood, you can meet your energy levels really wherever they are. Okay, let's get started with a warming pranayam or breathing exercise. This is called breath of fire or Kapalabhati. And the way that I'll demonstrate this, I'm going to put my hips up so you can see more of my torso here. The focus is on the belly. The inhale is passive. Sorry, and the inhale is passive. The exhale is forceful out of the nose, both in and out of the nose. So it looks like this, taking a breath in. So I'm forcing breath out of the nose and drawing the belly in. So it's almost like the belly is coming into this pumping action as I'm forcing breath out of the nose, belly draws in strongly, and then the inhale happens passively. Let's try that again. If you have any heartburn or um, digestive issues that you're concerned about, take this really slow or opt out of it altogether. Like if you have reflux, that can be a sign of excess heat in your digestion, so we don't want to aggravate that. Okay, if you are going to practice Kapalabhati with me, we'll do that for one more round here, taking a long breath in, and then beginning on the exhale. We're doing this very gently, very rhythmically, and slowly. So we can build that internal fire, we can nourish it without aggravating it too much. Okay, and let that go on an exhale. Take another breath in and let it out of the mouth. Relax. That is Kapalabhati, and we're going to work that into a posture that we do later. Just wanted to go over that with you first. We'll begin on hands and knees and tabletop pose. Come onto your mat. Press the hands down, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Draw the belly up and in, even the ribs up and in. We'll begin to engage this energy center, the solar plexus that's associated with Aries right away. We're starting to work with solar plexus, also called Manipura chakra in Sanskrit. So sending the hips from side to side. First, begin to warm up the spine. If you want, you can look over one shoulder and then the other as the hips sway from side to side to create a side stretch here. So if my hips are leaning to the left, I'm looking over the right shoulder. Hips leaning to the right, I'm looking over left shoulder. Just a couple times like that. And then coming back to neutral, drawing belly and ribs up towards you, pressing hands down, taking a breath in here as you exhale, draw the belly in, round the back. Drop the head and the tail, stretch the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, bend the elbows here, lift the gaze, lift the heart, drop the belly, lift the tail. Exhale, round the back, drop the tail and the head. Inhale, roll shoulders back, drop the belly, lift the head and the tail. A couple more times like that. Cycling through cat-cow pose as we warm up the spine. Rounding the back, drawing the belly in towards the spine, exhaling and letting the belly relax. Good. We'll take a moment to tuck the toes, sink the hips back into child's pose, reach the arms forward. Take a couple of belly breaths here. Again, nourishing the solar plexus. Breathing right into your thighs, inhaling, expanding gently, letting the abdomen expand in all directions, and then exhale, release, relax. Coming forward into tabletop pose. Once again, we'll take the left knee forward, set it down in between your hands, bend the back knee, place that back foot behind you to sit up in what's a modified pigeon pose. So what we're going to do here is come forward, and I'm going to move to the side just a little bit here. Knees are comfortably bent as we walk the hands forward, the arms come down to the ground, and take a few moments to breathe here as we place some healthy pressure between the abdomen and the left thigh. Breathe into your belly. Inhaling, gently expanding. Exhale and release, soften. A couple more breaths like that. Stimulating one side of the abdomen here. If you want, you can bring in a pillow, a prop, make a pillow with your arms to rest your head as you breathe. Slowly roll up. Make room to come back to child's pose. Once again, you can tuck toes or not tuck toes. That's your choice. Tucking toes, we get a nice stretch through the feet. So again, even in child's pose, we can create a little support with a bolster or stack of pillows. I'm going to untuck my toes and take a couple belly breaths here. Remember, this is more of a restorative practice. So we're spending a little bit more time in postures and also taking time to breathe. Now we'll take the right knee forward in between the hands, bend the back knee and sit the hips down. And I'll turn around so that you can see the side view of that. Okay, I'll bring my prop with me. For restorative postures, I like to have lots of props around so I can support my body any way that I need to. So now the knees are comfortably bent. That back knee comes a little bit forward towards the front foot. So this is a closed position. I can take my prop and roll it out in front of me, or just use a stack of pillows. Leaning forward over that right leg and taking a few breaths here in modified pigeon pose. This is resting pigeon, Salamba Kapotasana. So you might lower the head all the way down and take a few breaths into that right leg, into the abdomen, feeling the abdomen press into that right leg. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders as much as you can. And then slowly take your time, rolling up. Place this over here. And we'll take a gentle front body stretch here. My right hand's going to come behind the right hip, pressing down against that hand, coming onto the knees to lift the hips and press them forward. You might do a few arm circles here. This is helping to stretch the whole front of the body. Circle the arm in one direction and then circle in the other direction. Now warming up the shoulder joints, coming down and moving to the other side. Switch your legs. Make sure knees are comfortably bent. Left hand comes behind the left thigh. Press down to lift the hips up. Press the hips forward. Reach up, stretching all the way down the front body. Creating more space. Circling the arms in one direction and in the other. Nice, easy movements here. Good. We're going to now come into a twist. So from this position, we'll take that left hand behind us once again. The right hand will come to the left knee as we look over that back shoulder. Careful not to torque yourself really strongly, or just leaning into that hand behind us and turning the back shoulder away. For a healthy twist across the chest and also gently across the abdominal area. Take another breath here. It's okay to lean back onto that hand behind you. Inhale, we'll come to the other side, switch the legs. The right hand supports behind the right hip. Left hand comes to the right knee, leaning back just a little bit as we turn away and turn towards this right shoulder, rolling the right shoulder open a little bit more. Try to keep the ribs in, the belly in, and breathe. Good. Slowly unwinding, we'll move the knees from side to side like so. Freeing up the hips a little bit more, moving out any stagnant energy. Good. And then rolling onto your back. And I like to have a support or prop handy. These foam rollers are really great for this pose. We're going to move into bridge pose, Setu Bandha. And I like these because they're firm, and you'll see why that's helpful. You can also use a stack of pillows, or you can use a bolster. Coming on to the back, bring your prop, whatever it is you're using. Bring the knees up and the feet down, feet about hip distance apart, and a little bit stepped tucked away from your hips so that feet aren't super close or super far away. We want to find a good distance, a little bit of space, not too much. Lifting the hips, take the hips onto now the bolster or your roller. Take a moment there. Feel your shoulder blades resting on the ground, the back of the head, both feet resting firmly on the ground. So on your next inhale, we'll slowly lift the hips away from the roller. Take your time. And then exhale, release back down. Tuck the tail as you go. Good. You can also do this without the bolster. This is just giving us a little bit of support. So lifting the hips up, away from the bolster on the inhale, exhaling to release down. Just like that, breath by breath. If you want to add arms, you can lift the arms straight up and over your head. Maybe you'd like to press up the hips up a little higher and then release all the way down. Arms coming back to your sides. Inhale, lift. Maybe there's a pause here as you hold and breathe. Exhaling and releasing down. Good. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift the hips, arms overhead. Take a little longer if you like. Breathe as you hold. Exhale to lower down. Arms return to your sides. From here, if you want, you can take the knees in towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. We're basically coming into child's pose on our backs. Take a moment here. Maybe you'd like to explore some belly breathing here. Pressing the abdomen right into the thighs, giving yourself a squeeze. Maybe you'd like to take the legs up into the air if that feels good. And this might not be the best pose if you're menstruating because we're basically reversing the flow. But if you're not menstruating, go ahead and open up. If you are menstruating, you might want to come into cobbler's pose on your back. That can feel really nice to open up the hips, a little bit more gentle pressure on the pelvic region. And we're going to roll that away from us gently. Take your time, bringing feet down to the ground. And swinging the hips from side to side. You can open up the feet a little wider here to facilitate the knees opening a little bit more. Wagging the knees side to side. There's a gentle twist there. Bringing both knees in or up. We'll take the right heel or the right ankle to the left thigh, and on your next exhale, lower the knee down to the ground. Another gentle twist. Take a few breaths in here. Got a lot of twists in this practice to help nourish the solar plexus, Manipura, chakra. Bring that knee back up. Switch feet. Left heel or ankle to the right thigh. Take a breath, exhale, and send the knees over to the left. This is a nice way to twist because we avoid over twisting. Long torso, full breaths. You can take the hands behind your head as I'm doing, or find another comfortable position for the arms. And then slowly come back up to neutral. You can hug the knees in to your chest one more time. And then slowly rocking forward and back again. A couple of spinal rolls here to roll out the back, rounding the back, only rolling as far as the shoulder blades. And then coming up, we'll come up into a supported boat pose here, wrapping the arms under the legs, taking the tiptoes down to the ground, leaning back, lift the chest. And if you want, you can lift the toes off the ground. Breathing into the whole abdominal area, starting to fire up the core here. Lifting a little bit more. Maybe you'd like to straighten out the legs even more. That's going to engage your core even more. And again, if you're menstruating and this doesn't feel right, you can skip it. You don't have to do it. You can keep the toes down if that feels really grounding to you and balance here in modified boat pose, Navasana. So find the expression of this pose that works for you. Slowly bringing the toes down, coming forward onto your mat, and wagging the knees again from side to side. Okay, we're going to take a twist with the legs staggered like so. This is called a 90-degree angle because that front knee and heel is about aligned with the side of your mat. And now we're going to turn away. So I have my left leg forward here. I'm going to turn away and place both hands over my leg. I just picked up my hip to adjust my hips a little bit, and now we'll come down into this form of a twist. Okay. So this back leg can be relaxed. And here is where we will practice the Kapalabhati or fire of breath. Breathing. So coming down onto the elbows, try to pull yourself away. Remember, we're creating a 90-degree angle with this front leg. The back leg can just be relaxed. So pulling yourself forward, nice long torso, balance across the shoulders. We'll take a full breath in here. And then on the exhale, do a few rounds of slow, rhythmic Kapalabhati fire breath. Let that go, and the rest of the exhale, take a full breath in. Let it out of the mouth. Sigh the breath out. And then we'll come over to the other side. Okay. Switching the legs. Again, we're looking for a 90-degree angle, thereabouts, with this front leg. Turning away from the leg, placing hands over that leg. Let's do the other side. And then walking yourself away. So you have nice long torso and spine here. The back leg can just be relaxed. You might need to pick up that hip to find a place of comfort here as we take a breath in. And on the exhale, a few rounds of Kapalabhati fire breathing. Let it go on the rest of the exhale. Get ready to breathe in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Release some of that excess energy. And then when you're ready, slowly make your way up And now we'll come on to our bellies. Coming forward, lower down, slowly, coming into Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Elbows down in front of the shoulders, pressing the hands down into the ground. Let me back up a little bit here. Pressing the feet down. The feet are separated about hip distance, pressing down with the whole body that's in contact with the ground. The pelvic bones, the tops of the feet. Maybe you feel the tops of the thighs as well. The elbows, the forearms, the whole palm, all 10 fingers. Lifting the heart away, the chest away from the ground. If this is uncomfortable for the low back, bring the elbows out in front of you just a little bit more. And breathe. Rolling the shoulders back. One more breath in here, and then we'll start to press ourselves up and right back into child's pose. Take a few breaths here in child's pose. Breathe into your belly. Practice some belly breathing here, diaphragmatic breathing. Breathing in all directions, and then slowly walk yourself back up and roll back once again. We'll take a few moments before we come down into relaxation, just a few moments in a forward fold. Place some pillows or a bolster under the knees, hinge forward, and lay the torso onto the thighs in a forward fold. Here's where we can bring in more pillows. Leaning forward onto your props, or just leaning over your legs, taking a few breaths here into the back of the solar plexus area. Relax the shoulders, the face, the head, and the neck. One more breath in and out here. And then slowly use your hands to walk yourself up. We'll prepare for relaxation here. Rolling onto your back, or perhaps you'd like to be on your belly as we were before. You can leave that roller under the knees. You might like a pillow over or a heavy blanket over the abdomen. Keep this area warm as we take a few moments here to relax. You might even like throw a blanket over your feet. You can throw a blanket over your entire body here to keep the warmth and enjoy that warmth during relaxation here. Feel the firm support of the ground underneath you. Breathe into that support. Receive. Receive each nourishing breath. And soften into the support of the earth a little bit more with each breath. Slowly and gradually releasing tension throughout the body. You can do a full body scan here if you'd like, starting at your toes, breathing up the whole body, all the way up to the crown of the head, and then exhaling and letting the breath sweep down the body. We'll do that once more. Full breath up the body, full slow breath down the body. You can stay here as long as you want in Shavasana or relaxation. Eventually bringing knees back towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze here. Maybe you'd like to rock a little from side to side. Roll over to one side. Press yourself up. And it's nice to end your practice sitting up. This helps to clear your head and have greater mental clarity as you are beginning your day. Or maybe you're settling down to sleep and you want to remain in that reclined position. So end your practice however it suits you the best. You can join me in this gesture of gratitude, bowing head towards your hands, towards your heart, hands in prayer position, giving thanks for this body, for the breath that animates the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit that dwells within us, within all others, all other living beings. We honor this spirit in all beings, the spirit that unites us and connects us. In other words, namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Heather Burkart with Her Wellbeing Ayurveda and Yoga. Don't forget to visit my website, herwellbeing.com, where you can find more resources, more holistic strategies and solutions for you to have a balanced cycle every cycle. Thanks again.